The Nassau PBA is blasting the Nassau County Executive's move to relocate the ICE agents to the campus of Nassau University Medical Center. Rallies were actually held today in Mineola denouncing that plan, and union leaders say the decision threatens public safety and puts their officers at risk.
To take that cog out of the wheel, it's mind-boggling to us. It really is madness. This is all a political decision. It has nothing to do, it's not rooted in reality, it's not rooted in law enforcement. It's just a stupid decision.
Okay, not mincing any words. So let me just first have you respond to the soundbite and the fact that it's pretty much attacking your decision.
Right. Well, so let me get into this. I'm glad that we're starting with this. The decision to move the ICE trailer, to move the agents out of that trailer, was because of a court decision that made emphasized illegal detainers, unlawful detainers. We cannot detain people unlawfully. And having the trailer there,
that's detaining somebody beyond what the criminal case is. And
it constitutes a second arrest, right? So we cannot, the local law enforcement jurisdiction cannot do that. Having the trailer there left room for mistakes and left us to be liable. So I felt it was important to get those agents off of the jail campus. We sent a letter to ICE and asked them to vacate. They asked for an extension, and I think because of the government shutdown, you know, they were having relocation issues. We gave the extension through the end of this month. And then I had a scheduled phone call with the field director last Thursday, and he asked for assistance in finding a new location. And I think, I'm just speculating, but I think because of the government shutdown, they were having a problem finding a place. So we were able to assist him in finding a location on the Nassau University Medical Center campus, which is, you know, I want to be very clear. This is about maybe a quarter mile from where it was before. It's at the very back of the campus. It's in a place where patients don't go, visitors don't go. It's got its own entrance. There's no commingling whatsoever between people who go to the hospital or visit the hospital. They don't. There's no.
And this is the
there.
building that they're going to be moving into, Building Z.
I believe that is incorrect.
Okay, this is not the building.
It is Building A.
This afternoon,
Building A on the northwest corner of the
Okay, that's
campus.
a different building than
Building A.
Okay.
On the northwest.
Because that was
corner of the
information that we
campus.
were given today at a press conference. It was Building Z, so this is now moved to Building A.
I don't know where that information came from. It certainly wasn't from my office.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, surprisingly or not surprisingly, this issue has garnered some national attention.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
We'll get into this, but I want to let you hear what the president yesterday said about this issue, and then we'll get your response on the other side.
I see in Long Island, they don't want ICE. The radical Democrats don't want ICE there because they're too good. They're doing too good a job. Really, radical Democrats don't want them there because they don't want to do anything to disturb MS-13.
Okay, two things here. I'll let you respond to it. He's calling you radical, and all the Democrats radical, and he's saying that you're moving ICE out because ICE is doing too good of a job. So
you know, he clearly does not know the facts. We are moving field agents a quarter mile from a ratty, dilapidated old trailer into an office a quarter of a mile away. That's what's happening. You know, I have to say, I was really stunned that he was talking about Nassau County. Yesterday was day 33 of the federal government shutdown. We've got over 15,000 Long Islanders going without a paycheck, federal workers, and he's focusing on this. He's got to focus on his own job. We're doing our job. I'm doing my job here in Nassau County. He needs to do his job down in D.C. and reopen the government. Okay, so now let's back up. We've talked kind of an overview of what's going on, so let's back up and take this decision piece by piece. You said it was originally a decision because of this appellate case that said that you cannot unlawfully detain people beyond. Exactly, and I was not looking for mistakes to happen. But you've also said, and correct me if I'm wrong, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that there's a perception problem. If people see ICE at those jails, immigrants especially in those communities, that there's a perception that they perhaps might fear deportation if their relatives or friends or they're involved in law enforcement. Is that true? Is that a fair assessment of part of the decision making? I think it is, and you know, the reason why the proximity for the new location I think is so important is that if a bad criminal, the bad guy, gets out of jail and goes off into a community, right, then the ICE agents have to go roaming in the streets looking for this guy. Whereas if there is proximity, they can scoop him up. when he leaves the jail.
Now, today, part of the pushback on this proposal to move him is coming from immigrant advocates who say that perception problem doesn't go away by moving him to the only county hospital. People, they may be out of sight, but they're not going to be necessarily out of mind from that community. They'll know that ICE is there. And how is that not the same problem, just at a different location?
I think it's really important to reassure people that it continues to be safe to go to the hospital. As I said before, where the building is nowhere near where patients are coming to park or visitors are coming to park. There is no intermingling whatsoever. It has its own entrance. It's at the back of the campus. And let's remember, this ICE trailer at the jail was there for over 10 years, for over a decade, right, a quarter mile from the hospital, and there has never been one incident. No one's been scooped out of the emergency room. No one's been taken. There's not been one ICE incident in that hospital this entire time. That will continue.
And has that happened in the jail? Because of ICE being there on the property? I mean, have people been scooped up because of ICE, because of their proximity to the jail on the property?
I mean, that's an excellent question. I'm not sure of the answer.
Okay. And have you looked at Suffolk County? Because Suffolk County is not doing this. They're remaining. ICE is remaining on, and they are on.
I can't speak for Suffolk. All I know is that I'm not looking for us to make mistakes on unlawful detainers here in Nassau County. Okay. But we're doing everything we can to keep our community safe, and we're continuing to work with our federal partners, including ICE, in keeping our crime numbers at historic lows.
Okay. Now, January 31st is the deadline. You said there was a discussion in December. You gave them an extension to go through the end of this month, basically. That's 6 days away. With the government shutdown, is that reasonable for ICE? I mean, what happens if ICE says, we can't move out in this 6 days?
Well, then ICE will have to find another arrangement for itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as a practical matter, do you know whether the building that they're allegedly going to move into, this building A, is even habitable? Is ready for them?
From what I understand, yes. I'm assuming work has to be done. They've got to move their computers and all of that sort of thing.
Okay. And this is just from what we're hearing from critics, these questions that are coming out. Who makes the decision that where ICE goes to? I know that you said that ICE came to you and asked for help, but is it the county's responsibility to find housing for ICE? I mean, they're a federal agency, so.
Right. So we gave them the extension, and then they asked for our assistance. Last week, we said that we would help, and we did assist them with finding a new location.
Any possibility that they'll get another extension? I mean, we are in a government shutdown, no fault of Nassau County, really no fault of ICE. If on a practical matter that they just cannot do this in 6 days, I mean, they seem to not even be able to find a location. They came to the county for help. That the county's willing to give them another extension and say maybe?
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. That's a hypothetical. Let's see where we are at the end of the month.
Okay, it's a big topic. I wish we had more time to talk about it. It's a huge topic, and I appreciate you fielding the questions.
Absolutely.
These are tough questions.
Absolutely, and I think, you put your finger right on it. With this government shutdown happening, it's kind of thrown a lot of things into disarray. And I can only speculate, but it appears to me that they were asking for our help because of the shutdown. They were having relocation issues.